CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks so much for being with us on this Friday. The city of Greater Sudbury has terminated 6 employees without cause, as it says is moving in a new direction. CTV's Alana Everson has more on the story.
Greater Sudbury CAO Sherry Lichterman talked to CTV about what led to the terminations of 5 management positions and 1 support staff. She calls them difficult decisions.
Over the last 10 months since I've been here, I've been working through some organizational changes to help improve how the city delivers services, and ultimately sometimes in order to move change forward, you have to change some personnel.
We have learned the terminated employees are Kevin Folk, General Manager of Corporate Services, David Shelstead, Director of Engineering Services, Melissa Rooney, Deputy Chief of Paramedic Services, Jesse O'Shell, Deputy Fire Chief, and 2 additional positions.
Well, really my reference to a new direction is about the fact that I was brought in as the new CAO, and council and the public, we're looking for change, looking for us to do a better job in the way that we deliver our services, looking for us to manage our finances in a better way, find efficiencies.
City Councillor Natalie Labby says she has complete faith in the city's new CAO and the approach she took in this decision.
They're difficult decisions, but it's part of a broader direction from council since 2022 about where we wanted to see the city go with different departments. There's been a lot of restructuring happening over the last few years, and our new CAO has demonstrated a lot of professionalism and integrity.
City Councillor Bill Leduc says he will be asking for an investigation into the terminations.
We just recently lost our Auditor General, which would have been able to investigate the reasoning behind all of this.
I acted, well within the authority of my office and certainly with the support of Mayor and Council.
The city's CAO confirms the terminated employees are entitled to severance pay, which is currently being negotiated with each individual. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
All right, now to the mess out there we call weather. Rain-snow mix, and it looks like the temperature is going to drop. For more details, we go to CTV's Rick Wyman. Rick.
Tony, well, we've gone from rain to flurry activity. We've got some flurries and we've got some snow. Our systems map, courtesy of Environment Canada. Get your membership today at CAA.ca. Of course, brought to you by CAA. Here's the next system that's moving in for tomorrow. North Bay and Sudbury, 5 to 10 centimeters of snow for tomorrow. Other areas will get a few centimeters, including Sault Ste. Marie. So again, we'll talk about the 5-day weather, but loads of flurries. And again, we'll have to hold off on the sunshine for a couple of days. I'll have details, Tony, coming up just a couple of minutes away.
Thanks, Rick. Evacuations were halted because of weather today for some 2,200 people from Kashechewan. But as CTV's Angela Gemmel tells us, the community is working with several partners to help residents.
After 5 flights Thursday, evacuations out of Kashechewan were halted Friday due to the weather. But the chief says the state of emergency is a public health concern for the entire population.
We're looking for a good weather tomorrow to start the evacuation again and through the coming weekend and through the coming weeks.
Last weekend, the water treatment system failed, sending sewage into homes and contaminating the water supply. Indigenous Services Canada has sent technicians to help repair the failing infrastructure, but the chief isn't sure how long that will take.
We're hopeful that everything will be done. I'm not going to say the dates with the days, but we're just waiting for that confirmation from them.
They are without potable water, and the community's only health clinic had to be moved to a temporary site after being flooded with sewage. While the clinic is open, it can only take emergencies at this time. It's why the chief wants a full community evacuation. Managing evacuations is the Lumex Group, the province's vendor for activations like this. They'll work to get spaces in Kapuskasing filled up before moving on to the next evacuation hub, which is being set up in Kingston.
I want to get these people to safety so they have some running water to bathe and drink and have a shower and, you know, all the everything that we enjoy every day. I want to see them out of there to get a break from that.
The First Nation continues to work with ISC to get all the problems rectified.
Keep going at it, keep pushing what needs to be done in our community.
Chief Wesley says he's extended an invitation to Indigenous Services Canada Minister Mandy Galmasti to come visit his community and see firsthand what the situation is like. He hasn't heard back. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
A Sudbury couple is sharing a terrifying story after their dog was attacked by a pack of coyotes. It happened earlier this week in a Minnow Lake neighborhood. Details from CTV's Lindsay Alick.
On Tuesday morning around 8:30 a.m., Taylor Knupchuk was outside with her two dogs when they began to bark. At first, she thought it was another dog in her yard, but she quickly realized it was a coyote. One of her dogs ran to her while the other took off.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, just like 4 more just came out of nowhere, and they all had the run on her.
She ran inside to get her brother-in-law, and they both started making as much noise as possible.
The only time they stopped is when he finally started his snow machine and kind of like made noise, and then they stopped for a split second.
It was enough for 6-year-old Dakota to escape, but not before being bitten several times. She was treated at the Walton Animal Hospital, where Dr. Carolyn LaRiviere has been a vet for 25 years. She says, unfortunately, coyote attacks are fairly common.
In Moonglow subdivision, one of our very good clients let his Springer Spaniels out into his fenced backyard. The coyote jumped the fence and attacked his dog Monty. They're not afraid of this environment that we live in. Neighborhoods are hunting grounds for them.
She says they will go after cats and dogs regardless of size, no matter the time of day.
The best thing to do in that scenario, one, always have your dog on a leash so that they don't go chasing the coyotes, because that's part of their game plan. 2, if they do come around, making yourself large, making yourself loud.
She says it's hard to know how many animals fall victim to attacks each year, but says this time of year is especially high for incidents.
Coyotes go into their mating season around mid-end of January all the way through April, and that's when they become very brazen. They're more aggressive than before.
The couple says they have tried reporting the sightings to the MNR, but haven't received a response. Meantime, when CTV reached out, we were told that municipalities lead local response to interactions. They simply support communities, providing guidance and best practices. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. First, though, there's a live webcam from the Elliott Lake Fire Tower Lookout. It's courtesy of the city of Elliott Lake. Right now, it's 3 degrees. We are back in a few minutes.
Fuel your Fridays with CTV and Pure Country. Enter online for a chance to win a $100 gas gift card. Fuel your Fridays. Powered by CAA. Life isn't one size fits all. Neither is CAA. Congratulations going out this week to Ida Marie Polifroni. Perhaps you could be a winner next week, but you've got to enter to win. Let's check out our weather forecast now for the weekend. The rain is going, or in the process of being gone. Now we've got to deal with flurries in our forecast, and in some cases they'll be, well, heavier than expected. Here we go with tomorrow's forecast. Chance of flurries, according to Environment Canada, but 5 to 10 centimeters in Sudbury and North Bay. So residents there will have to deal with the consequences by tomorrow evening. Sudbury Nickel Belt, here we go. Chance of flurries, but again, 5 to 10 centimeters tomorrow evening. -6 your high. Chance of flurries on Sunday. Monday, chance of flurries. Tuesday, chance of flurries, and chance of snow Wednesday. So again, we're dealing with a lot of flurry activity and in some cases some snow over the course of the next couple of days. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, periods of snow tomorrow, a few centimeters and a little bit more by tomorrow evening, but not too much in the forecast right now. -3 your high. Chance of flurries Sunday, -4. Chance of flurries on Monday at 40%, high of 0. 1 on Tuesday with the chance of flurries and chance of snow by next Wednesday, your high of -7. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, cloudy tomorrow, -7. Chance of flurries for a couple of days. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, chance of snow by next Wednesday at 60%. But take a look at the temperature change. We go from -14 to -4, -5, then well, minus 15 on the cool down by next Wednesday. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, cloudy skies for tomorrow, minus 5. Chance of flurries on Sunday and Monday at 60 and 30%. Tuesday, chance of flurries, 40%. Then the big cool down again. It's pretty well the standard right across northeastern Ontario. By next Wednesday, it'll cool down significantly. 60% chance of snow with a high of only minus 14, a low of minus 21 that evening. And for North Bay, West Nipissing, chance of flurries for tomorrow. Chance of snow on Sunday at 60%. That's a pretty good bet there. Monday, Tuesday, chance of flurries at minus 4, minus 2. Then it gets colder with the chance of snow come Wednesday at 60% with a high of only minus 12, minus 19 your low. So Tony, get that snowblower ready for tomorrow evening. Greater Sudbury and North Bay, 5 to 10 centimeters of snow because we've got a change in the weather. Rain, now snow. Back to you.
Thanks, Rick. We often have a plan for how we want to live, but few of us have a plan for how we want to say goodbye. A Sudbury woman is joining a growing movement of professionals looking to change the conversation. CTV's Amanda Hicks has more.
Ashley LaBelle is a death doula, otherwise known as an end-of-life doula. She found her calling following the loss of her sister, who was the first heart-in-a-box donor in Northeastern Ontario.
I was that safe space that was non-judgmental, that my entire family was able to come to, you know, be sad, be mad, scream, do what they had to do. And when I did see that there was such thing now out there in Canada and around the world as a death doula, I was like, you know what, this is my calling.
As a death doula, she isn't there to provide medicine, but to provide a map, offering practical advocacy, legacy planning, and emotional support.
This is another resource with regard to breaking down barriers. There's been for many, many years, likely decades, if not centuries, this whole taboo about we don't talk about death. Well, it's an inevitable part of the human journey. So the more information we have, the more people are empowered to make good decisions and also to provide good support.
It's a role that is gaining interest. LaBelle says the profession has tripled across Canada over the past 3 years. Laurentian University offers one of the country's few accredited programs.
Because we're starting to normalize the conversations around death and dying well, people are becoming more interested and curious and wanting to be able to support in a much more holistic manner.
To bring those conversations to the light, LaBelle is launching monthly death cafes in Sudbury and bi-monthly in North Bay. It's a space to talk openly over coffee and cake.
We all want to have a good birth. We all want to give birth to our kids, you know, in a good way. Why is it not okay for us to die well? And the Death Cafe part is to be able to talk about that.
The Death Cafe will be held at the Lougheed Funeral Home in Hanmer on Tuesday, January 13th, starting at 6:30 p.m. Admission is free, but donations are welcome. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
Buying or selling coming up on CTV News at 5. In hockey this week, we take a look at which Northern OHL teams made trades and how these will impact the clubs.
Hockey this week is brought to you by Rastall Nut and Bolt Company. It's been a busy week for hockey fans across Northern Ontario. All 3 teams in the OHL have been busy making trades, and to find out more about one trade in particular, Sudbury Wolves home play-by-play broadcaster Brian Cooper, my good friend, to tell us more about Nathan Villeneuve and local boy Alex Farah heading south to Windsor for a ton of picks, and J.C. Lemieux, who we hope to see on the ice this coming weekend. What are your thoughts?
Well, isn't the OHL trade deadline just so much fun, right? There's always so many unexpected twists and turns, and there were a lot of questions with the Sudbury Wolves roster. Would they be buyers? Would they be sellers at the deadline? And didn't take long for Villeneuve, the captain of the Wolves, and Alex Farah, the hometown kid. I think that's the part that might maybe be the, hurt the most for fans, seeing him go, but they are going to a contending team in the Western Conference in the Windsor Spitfires. I think it's a huge opportunity for them, and what the Wolves got in return is also massive as you look to the future of this club, even, looking ahead to next season. So I think for Villeneuve, fans are really going to miss him as well. Fans are going to miss Farhan, but as for what they get in return, It's huge. It's huge for Sudbury, and again, a great opportunity for those two guys going to the Western Conference.
Fact or fiction, is this enough, at least with Lemieux in the lineup and maybe the absence of Ferrand and Villeneuve, for the Wolves to still make the playoffs?
Well, it's interesting because you look at the Wolves play in the last month, let's say, last month and a half, even just before Christmas, compared to how it started. The season started not very, very good, but they've been winning. They have been winning as of late. They've had a winning record, and things have been looking up. They've been getting productivity from all of their lines, essentially. Things have been heating up. So yes, you subtract Alex Ferrand, Nate Villeneuve, you wonder, okay, how's that going to affect the team chemistry? They've added a few players as well, and really curious to see this Lemieux hit the roster as well. So I would say yes, there is a good chance that the Wolves could make the postseason, you know, maybe squeak in their 8th, 7th spot. Even higher, of course, if things can go really, really well for the next couple of months, but time will certainly tell. But I would say right now, things still look good for Sudbury.
Okay, Carter George going from Owen Sound to Sault Ste. Marie for a lot of picks. I'm thinking that the Greyhounds are real serious about challenging in the West. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's funny. You and I talked about this off the air, too. The Greyhounds always find a way. This is a massive deal for them. And you talk about a confident goaltender in Carter George coming off of the World Juniors, of course, bronze medalist, a lot of experience outside of the Ontario Hockey League. So he brings a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience, and just a wealth of confidence in between the pipes. And for the Greyhounds, who I feel like not many people have been keeping their eye on in the Western Conference this year, this is huge as you look. I mean, we're early January, February not that far away, March. This is massive looking long term for the Sioux Greyhounds in the Western Conference, especially at the end of the season.
Okay, quickly, Hayden Barch and of course Sebastian Gervais going to North Bay. This is, I think, maybe a trade for the future.
I would agree. North Bay Battalion kind of been riding the middle of the pack. And I think if you're the battalion, you're obviously hoping for the best, clearly. Bolstering your roster a little bit. Great series recently between Sudbury and North Bay. But again, this looks up for them, especially heading into next season.
Okay, thanks for doing this, and we'll see you on the ice very shortly. Of course, that's hockey this week. For this week, talking OHL, we're back in 7 days with North.
Thanks, Rick. It was a great game for North Bay last night as the troops took on the league-leading Ottawa 67s.
Here's Petrie, Amadowski, and he's upended. Puck at the side of the net. Federhoff kept it out.
A lot of nail-biters, including that one. Some pressure there from the battalion late in the second. North Bay sends the 67s packing, winning this one 4-2. Tonight, the battalion are headed south to take on the Brampton Steelheads. That game is a 7 o'clock start. The Ottawa 67s travel to Sault Ste. Marie to face off against the Greyhounds. That game starts at 7:07. And it'll be a dogfight in Sudbury tonight as the Wolves play host to the Niagara Ice Dogs. Puck drop is 7:05. In the NOJHL, the Sudbury Cubs shot down the Powassan Voodoos in a 9-2 victory last night. The Cubs are in Noelville tonight to take on the French River Rapids, while the Voodoos will play at home against the Espanola Paper Kings. Both games are 7 o'clock starts. The Kirkland Lake Gold Miners are in Timmins to take on the Rock, who have been chasing the Sudbury Cubs for top spot in the league. They'll be looking for a big 2 points tonight. The Blind River Beavers are in Sioux, Michigan to face off against the Eagles. Both those games start at 7:30. A major expansion is coming to an elementary school in Callander, just outside of North Bay. CTV's Eric Tashner has details on the planned renovations.
A true gift.
For years, the Nipissing Parry Sound Catholic District School Board has seen the region outside of North Bay grow. And with that comes a huge demand for classroom and childcare space.
It's a necessity almost to really expand this school. Enrollment in Catholic schools across the province is increasing.
The Ontario government is setting aside $9.4 million to add a new wing to St. Teresa Catholic School, creating over 90 new student classroom spaces and 3 new childcare rooms with over 53 new licensed childcare spaces.
Ontario recognizes the vital role that accessible childcare plays in supporting families across the province.
As a Catholic education community,
We often say to one another, we live in hope. And it's moments like this one that remind us why we do.
The expansion is a welcome sign for the Catholic Board, and it comes at a time when the local public board, the beleaguered Near North District School Board, is under provincial control. Fideli says the difference is black and white.
They're cooperative, they're understanding, they obviously share things with their families that are involved. And then you see the other side, the other school board, who did none of the above.
St. Teresa currently has about 365 students enrolled at it. The school board saw the need for a future expansion about a decade ago, and 3 years ago it began to mobilize for it.
This summer, I think in August, we really put our feet on the ground to get the thing going.
The board is also looking at giving facelifts to other schools it controls. Expansion construction will start in the spring and is anticipated to end in December 2027. Eric Tashner, CTV News, Calendar.
Dogs enjoying the North's winter wonderland. When we return, our community close-up has an animal feel to it. You're watching First at 5. Our first community close-up is from the greater Sudbury community of Lively. Ted Gunn sent us this picture from Fielding Park. He spotted a duck sitting on a stump, eating some seeds. Great shot, Ted. Thanks so much. A viewer, Lynn Goslin, emailed us this photograph of her dog, Daisy. This was also taken at Fielding Park. She says this is what her pup looks like after playing in the snow. Lynn says winter is Daisy's favorite time of year. Thanks so much for this. What do you do when you get so much snow? Well, Ozzy in Timmins is embracing the wintry season, hitting the trails at Hersey Lake. Jim Couture sent us this video. Plenty of snow to have fun in. Thanks so much for the video, Jim. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can always email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6 o'clock. But for now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.